I have gotten more interactions though, so that's cool.
Interactions like on posts and stuff?
hmm And
Good.
like more people like commenting on things and just me in person too.
This is good. Okay, I'm recording, and I'm just letting you know I'm recording. Um, I'm just gonna send this probably to the mentorship group because I don't think anybody else on the team page is really interested. So anyway, what was I just gonna say? Oh, so I feel like you're posting your, like when you post your transformation and then you post other stuff in between,
hmm
and then you obviously posting your stories and stuff. I feel like that's the consistency that I'm getting ready to talk about, because the example that they gave in the Insta Club Hub was like perfect. He's like, okay, so you start dating someone and you're like talking all the time and like you go out and you see each other all the time or whatever, and then like they like ghost you and they just don't show up for a week. Like they literally are gone. They won't write you back. They don't show up and they're gone. And then after like 7 or 8 days, they're like, hey, what's up? And you're like, where have you been? And then you're like, cool or whatever. And then you like disappear again. It's like, that's what it's like on social media when you're not, like religiously posting, or at least like regularly. If you hardly ever post now and you go to like every third day and then every other day, that's not quite every day, but at least it's not like ghosting your people for a week or whatever. And I feel like sometimes that happens, not necessarily with you, Tammy, but just like in general with people. They're like, okay, and then they start posting and they getting some of my good ideas, and then they're gone. And then their people are probably like, are they still doing that thing or whatever? And then you show back up and you do a couple posts. Like, it's so flaky. It looks so flaky. And I feel like there are so many coaches, not saying anyone in particular, but like so many coaches that are like on a roll, and it just feels like a roller coaster, and people that are following you are like, hello, what's going on? So one of the main things, I think this one was called 6 Mistakes People Are Making on Social Media or something. All these trainings have like similar-ish titles. And I don't think I wrote the name down for this one, but one of them was lack of consistency, just like popping in, being really consistent for a little while, and then like being gone and being really inconsistent for a long time. In that sense, think of every feed post that you're putting is a chance to help people and a chance to like add value. So they showed like a posting schedule of like this one girl who posts like once a day and then twice a day and then once a day and then has 3 times a day and then once, but like every single day posts. And then the other girl only posts like 3 times a week, which maybe that girl's like, cool, 3 times a week. But then they showed like the overlap of those 2 schedules. And the one chick was posting like 12 times when the other one wasn't. And so even though 3 times might feel like, okay, I'm getting a little bit consistent, you're still nowhere near some of these people that are making it a very big priority to post every single day. You're still missing out on that many chances, 12 chances that top chick had to make extra value in someone's life. And that other girl was missing 12 chances to do something valuable or offer something to their followers. And then that made it like, I was kind of like, oh. So he's like, think of every single time you get on there, like, what can I help people with right now? And like, that's kind of hard. That's why they're like, share other people's content. Of course, give them credit for it, but like follow other people that are like you that might have like 100,000 followers. So Tammy, whatever your like niche is, like age whatever, 25 to 35, young people that struggle with whatever, low self-esteem, or that don't necessarily have kids but are, juggling 3 jobs, or whatever it is that you feel like you can really hone in on, like the person you were before Beachbody. That's the type of posts like you can keep in your head, like these are the people I'm trying to reach. And then you look for those people, those accounts that other people in that niche are following, that have like a lot of followers, and then share their stuff and say, I thought this was a great post by Mindset, the Hustlers, whatever the thing is that you're like, oh, that really resonates with me, probably resonates with other people just like you that you're trying to help, that's in that age range. You know what I'm saying? So share their stuff and give value out to other people that might share your stuff and get them to come back to your page. But if you, I mean, like, they're just big on like, you don't have to create content every day. You do need to post every day though. So if you're sharing other people's stuff, cool. As long as you're giving them credit for it, come up with your own stuff or share other people's stuff, but make sure you're getting on there every day to do that and being consistent, showing your face, showing that you're not ghosting and whatever. They're big on like, you know, you feel like you're doing a lot when you're in your stories every day, but new people are not watching your stories. You know what I mean? Like, I would not be following you or I wouldn't be watching your story if I wasn't following you. It's not going to pop up and people aren't going to be like, I think I'm just going to search Tammy and see what pops up. So like, I feel like we've all gotten like, okay, we can do stories. And then we like forget to post on our page like 5 days in a row. And like, dang it. Well, no one saw your face because if they're not watching stories, like some people just don't. They never will. They don't like stories. They don't have time for it, whatever. They're never going to see your face if you're not posting in the feed. So that was the other thing too, is don't forget about your feed because that's where you can provide value. In your story, sure, you can show people your life, but like people don't really care about your life as much if they don't know you. So they need to follow you. They need to see the value on your page. They need to see that you're providing, you know, valuable content, and then they'll start following you and then they'll see your story. Okay. Stop doing, I don't know if anyone else is like following top coaches. I don't follow top coaches because that's just a waste of my time. I end up watching like 50 stories of like Jatana Jackson dancing or like, it's so stupid. Like if you have literally nothing else to do, you could follow them and like see what's going on with them. But like, don't do what they're doing. Because if they already have like 50,000 followers, people just want to see what they're doing because they're like celebrities. Like it's cool to watch what they're doing because they have a big house and, you know, like they do Beachbody full time and they make $1 zillion and like, that's cool to watch. But like, we can't do that because we're not there yet. We've talked about that before. Like nobody wants to see my house. Nobody cares about my house in Leo. Like nobody wants to see my dogs. Like nothing is really that exciting going on here. So don't do it like influencers are doing because we need to do more than that. We have to provide more value than that because our lives are not their lives, if that makes sense. They called it look at me content. Like they can do like, look at me, look at all the stuff that I have, look at like all whatever. We can't really do that. I mean, we can. I'd be like, look at me, I have this Yeti. Everyone else has. So, I mean, like, it's just we're on different playing fields. So one of the mistakes they said was regular people trying to do things that influencers that have like 1 zillion followers are doing. We can't do the same things. Looking for quick cheats. I don't know if anyone ever really does this, but like if you get in like a pod group where like everybody likes each other's stuff or like stuff like that, or like if you do like a giveaway and tell people to tag their friends, and like if you like the post and like the page or whatever, to try to get like a lot of likes and to get a lot of followers, because people will follow you, but they're not real followers and they'll end up unfollowing you. So doing stuff like that, like doesn't really help. It kind of kills your algorithm if you have like, 2,000 people are like joining this so that they can win something for a giveaway. And then they all mass unfollow you the next day. Like that's not real followers and that's not real likes and that's not real engagement. And Facebook and Instagram don't like that. They don't like when people like mass exodus your page. That's bad. What else? Oh, this was a really good one. Okay. So I don't feel like any of us on our team are like super salesy and are like trying to sell things on the page or whatever, but we have to be careful to not always be asking people for something, like even asking people to join, like obviously we're inviting, but to continue to ask without giving value is just silly. Like the example he gave was if somebody came and knocked on your door every day and you like knock, 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 and you like answer it and they're like, here's $100 every day. They hand you $100. You're like, cool, thanks. Every time they knock on your door, you're going to answer it because they're giving you $100 every day. They're giving you something valuable every single time you open the door. Well, if they then start just knocking on the door to tell you stories like my dog, like tell you all about their children, tell you stories about, like, you can be like, I'm not going to answer the door anymore. Like, why are you coming to my house to tell stories? Which is what we do. And you have to kind of tell your story on social media. Like, that's part of what we do. But if that's all you did every day, like, I'd like to tell you a story about my work day today. It'd be like, shoot me. I don't want to do this. Well, what if they knocked on your door and they were like, could you give me something? Did you want to do this? Can I sell you something? I'd like to sell you a vacuum. I'd like to sell you some knives. I'd like to sell you, like, be like, get the hell out of here. Like, you're not going to knock on my door every day. I'm going to stop answering the door because I don't want you to try to sell me something every single day. Well, social media can get like that. And I know we all follow people that are like selling you something all the time. And you just want to be like, oh, you're selling me a syrup. You're selling me a pill. You're selling me like, it gets to the point where you're not getting anything from them. You want to unfollow them. Like, I'm not going to be asked for something or asked to continue to support you if you're never giving me anything good. Right. So you need to get to more of a point of giving, and then obviously inviting. Yes, obviously inviting. And that's a little bit different too. They were talking about, in your story, those people already follow you. They already kind of know what you do. They followed along for a while, and you can just tell them, these are the sales we have going on. This is a group I'm getting ready to start. These are the products that like all that stuff. But on your feed, you don't want it to be like spammy, salesy, asking for things. You want it to be give, so that at some point when you say, hey, I'm just getting ready to start a group, they trust you, they like you, they appreciate you, they appreciate the value that you've given them, and then are much more likely to be like, you know what, I'm going to check out what she's doing, rather than like scrolling through all these salesy posts where you're constantly asking them to do something for you, but not giving in return. So that was a hard thing. Like when he was saying, like, why would you even consider following someone who's just constantly doing that? People are just following people for content and for value and for things that can help them. And if you're doing it without being spammy, like obviously we think Energize is life and we all use it, and I can scroll through everyone's stories and everyone drinks it every morning and like all that stuff. But like, if you can be genuine about like, this gives me life, and talk about it without being like, you should buy this. Like there's a fine line of being creepy and salesy and just being like, this really helps me as a mom, as somebody who works 3 jobs, as somebody who works as a bartender that has to stay up till 3, whatever, like whatever the pain point is for you, because maybe part of your niche is people who work in, like food service, who don't really want to work in food service forever, or who have kids that don't want to miss the kids' bedtime, or whatever it is that you feel like. You talk to people, you work with those people, what their pain points are, what they complain about, what they don't want to be doing. Like maybe that's your people that want to do something different, or they work weird hours so they could do Beachbody like during the day, or like before they go into work or whatever. I don't know, but just to think about, because I feel like too many of us are trying to attract and be attractive to too many people. You can't be liked by everyone, because then it's going to be too hard to like attract a certain group. If you narrow down the people that you're really talking to and do a lot of value for those people, then I feel like that's probably going to be more beneficial in the long run. I'm using you because you're on here, Tammy, like obviously.
I actually like had someone I know that's like higher up in a different company, that they were like, hey, like I got this message and like I see these all the time. It was like, it works, I think.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm so happy you don't do this. Cause like she's like had me try to like join her and like a different company and stuff. I'm like, yeah, sorry. Like I'm staying with Beachbody. But she's like, I'm so happy you don't do this.
Yeah, for sure. And people don't want to be spammed. I mean, I feel like people probably open their inboxes and have like, hey girl messages from all these people. And it's just a lot easier to provide value and let people trust you. And then when you do invite them and have it be like, hey, no worries, I'm getting ready to start a group. Did you want to do it? They're not going to be like totally weirded out and have you be
Yeah.
awkward then, because it can be so not awkward if you talk to these people and you're just a real person,
Yeah.
that it doesn't
I've
have
had
to
more
be like that.
people where I'm just like, hey, like, so I'm doing, like, I'm doing a new group, like, I'm opening up a new group this month, but like, if you don't want to, like, no worries. But if you ever have interest or have any questions, like, let me know. And there's like, oh yeah, but you're doing awesome. Like, your motivation's great. Like, your consistency, like, just things like that. And there's like, I'll be here to support you through anything. And I'm like, oh, well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you
And,
suck.
and yeah, and having that conversation and then having it not be weird after that. Let's see what's going on here. Okay. I think that you can do it in a very cool, like, would you be open to learning more about my group, or would you be interested in learning more about coaching? If not, no worries. It gives them an out, first of all, but then it also is just so like chill. Are you open to looking at it? No? Cool. It's not like, I think you'd be so great at this. Oh my gosh, you should totally look at this. This is the best thing that's ever happened to me. And then they're like, okay. Like, you don't even know if I want to make extra money. You don't even know if I have any interest in doing any of that. And you're just like barfing all over me, all of this, like, blah, 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 blah. It's a lot easier to make it like a chill. Do you want to check it out? If not, no worries. And they say no. And you're like, cool. Like, it doesn't ever have to be like a weird thing, especially for people that you see every day. I talked to Kate Walker about that. Like, all these teachers who maybe don't even want to be teaching anymore. Teaching has changed so much. And you have to be cognizant of the fact that you're going to see them every day, and you don't want to be like, yo, you need to do this. You'd be really great at it. You could quit teaching. Like, you don't have to be like too much. It seems like it's aggressive. You can be very chill about it. And then you have to post about all the things. You have to post about how your life has changed because of it and all that stuff, because then they can see it and they can be interested without you having to then come at them. If that makes sense. Okay. What else was I going to say? We talked about that stuff last time. Okay. I think that's pretty much it. I just wanted to make sure that oh yeah. They even said, okay, so they're very, Shalene and Brock are very, they're just like very straightforward with, like, if you're not like a big influencer and whatever, like, no one cares. Like, don't post sweaty selfies. Like, they're like, literally, like, who cares? Lots of people work out. Like, stop. Like, unless you have like some fancy outfit or something that you need to show people and you're like some famous person, like, stop with the sweaty selfies. Stop. What else do they say? Oh, like, your food. Like, stop saying what you eat. And I'm like, I feel like that's valuable though. Like, if you can give recipes, that's valuable. If you can talk about how, like, prepping tips that make things like a lot easier for people who might be working weird hours like you, or like through meals. Like, I was a server. That's why I know like what it's like. You have to be at work at 2 PM. So you are there through dinner and you're serving other people dinner, but like, when are you supposed to eat? And I always just like ate baked potatoes out of the drawer and like ate croutons off the salad bar. Like, that was like dinner. And it was literally always almost like that, like all carbs or like a bowl of soup or whatever. But like, this is before I like, what?
Or eat something cold that's been there for like 3 hours.
Yeah. And this is before I would ever think of like packing a meal and like taking healthier snacks. Like, I literally would just be like, I work at a restaurant. I'll just eat whatever is in the back, like in the kitchen. It's fine.
You know, you're eating fries out of a fryer basket.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and you've had to do things differently, right? And you know what it's like to work through a meal, but also need to like make, like, just be cognizant of the choices that you're making while you're there, because it's easy to just order some food, you get half off or whatever, get free drinks or whatever, and just be constantly consuming calories the entire time you're at work very easily. Like, and I think, I don't know, you could talk to the people that are in that industry that maybe just need some education on it. I don't know. So I feel like everybody needs to just figure out who they're talking to and really talk to those people and provide value for those people. So I don't know. I'm trying to think of like accounts that you could follow that would be people that, I don't know.
I get a lot of response to my aunt just texted me talking about it. When I work out when I'm on the houseboat in Tennessee.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because there's like, what are you doing? Like, why are you working out in the middle of the lake? Like, what do you do for your workouts?
Yeah.
Like, when I post, like, when I'm out of town, like, when I'm down on the houseboat, there's like, oh, like, good for you. Like, you're getting your workout in and you're at the lake. Like, so I've gotten a lot of, like, response when I do those, too.
Yeah, so you could talk about, take pictures while you're there and talk about how you can take it anywhere and how convenient it is, because you don't have kids, so you can travel a hell of a lot easier than I can. So like maybe that's another part of it too, is that you can talk to younger people who have the flexibility to like have a life.
Yeah.
And do things and get out and travel and
We're going to Chicago next week. There's a perfect spot.
Is it, whose house is it? Whose houseboat?
My parents.
Oh.
Like, it's down in Tennessee, so like I just work out on the dock, or like they'll go out and do something. I'll just work out in the middle of the living room, depending on how humid and hot it is outside.
So you don't have any problem like streaming it, or do you download the workouts?
We have we have internet there. It's like a glamorous living houseboat.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
you don't have an issue. Like you just hook up to the Wi-Fi and you're good.
Yeah.
Wow,
Still, it's like saying like on the go, like you can do anything on the go. You don't need weights all the time. You don't need.
And I feel like once the world opens back up and you can actually travel again, and like I plan to talk about that while I'm in Florida for spring break. Like I haven't decided. I feel like I want to take my weights. I usually don't take weights, but since we're driving, like throw them in there with suitcases and call it a day. I just hate doing all cardio because it makes my Achilles hurt, like it when I jump all day. But I have to do something because it just
you can
makes
take your
me feel
track.
better. What?
You could take your track.
I know I could. I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking I wouldn't have that. That's why I was going to do a different program, because I finished this week and then I was like, well, I'll have to do something else because I won't have all the stuff.
I was supposed to finish a week and a half ago.
Still you were supposed to. But you didn't?
I had a cyst on my back, right behind my shoulder blade. I had to get it removed. I had stitches in my back, so I couldn't do any pulling whatsoever.
Oh.
I didn't work out for like 2 weeks, and then like the last week, I was like, "Yay, Tabata cardio!"
Yeah,
it's great.
It's the worst. Actually, it's not too bad because it's so short, but it's the worst. That's what I have to do tomorrow morning.
Oh, I did that today.
But Wednesdays is the day that I do it. I should have done it today, but Wednesdays, because it's the day I have to get up early and go to work, and I don't want to. So 18 minutes is about all I'm willing to do on Wednesdays. Anyway, I wondered where you were. See, you could have talked about all that stuff. I literally thought you just weren't. I just didn't know where you were, what you were doing. Maybe you did a post about it and I missed it.
No, I meant to do a post about it.
But anyway, those are the things that you can talk about so that people aren't like, oh, she's flaked out again and she gone, just to keep touching base so that your people know. Not that anybody couldn't just reach out and be like, yo, where you at? Because they literally could just be like, hey, I haven't seen you and I miss seeing you. But whatever. Yeah. It is what it is. You're back, and you did say I'm back, I'm working out, whatever, and then you just move on. Anyway, okay, I'm not going to take up more time. It's already 9:30. I think those are the main things that they talked about that were different from before. Oh, one other thing I forgot is make sure you're engaging with other people, and they're and like Instagram and Facebook don't show you to other people if you're not then commenting. Like it's not just the Jen show. Like it's not like I just want followers, I want engagement, I want stuff for my own posts. It doesn't work that way. It's social media because they want you to be social. So they want you liking people's stuff, sharing other people's stuff, commenting on it with emojis and all the things. Like truly engage and have relationships with other people, not just expect them to like obviously if your content's good, you will get engagement, but they're not going to show it to as many people if you're not commenting on other people's stuff and liking other people's stuff. So I think that's it for real. Social consistency. Too much selling, not enough value. That was one of the bad things. Don't do what influencers are doing. Not niching down enough, trying to appeal to everyone, because that's just not going to work. And buying followers, getting in like pods or doing giveaways to get a bunch of followers that are just going to unfollow you. Like quick cheats are not going to be a long-term solution for getting more followers and getting more engagement. Okay. Everyone needs to be Emerald by St. Patty's Day, March 17th. That means if you're signing people up, which is what I was talking to Mary about before, like when you're signing people up, this is what I say. Do you plan to commit to doing Shakeology 2 or 3 months? I suggest that everyone gives it 2 or 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be willing to commit to 2 or 3 months? If they say yes, I sign them up as a coach and just say, this is going to save you $20 on the second month and the third month. If you decide it's not for you, you just cancel it at any point. You cancel the Shakeology, you cancel the discount account, like it's all over. It's super easy. But you can also give it 3 months and then we can cancel it. Like it's a super easy thing. So that's sometimes how my discount coaches have gotten signed up, because I just ask them to commit. And that's true. Obviously, you know that it's easy to, you can do 2 or 3 months and you just cancel it and you move on with your life.
Yeah.
But doing it afterwards is more of a process, I feel like. So why not just sign them up at the beginning? So I typically, unless someone's like really, really like, oh, how much money is it? Oh gosh, that seems like a lot, but okay, I'm going to make it work, or I'm going to have my husband give it to me for Christmas. If they're like really, really concerned about $160, I'm not going to even talk about like future Shakeology typically, because asking them to spend $120 then the next couple months is just, it just seems silly.
Yeah.
But then I always give them an option. If you really, really love it moving forward, we can always sign you up for the discount. But if someone is just kind of like, oh, $160, that's a great deal. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
And I can just throw out there, hey, would you want the discount? It's just a different link. I just need to know ahead of time and just make it kind of chill. Anyway, that's my suggestion for anyone that's watching this that's not really sure how to sign up discount coaches. I feel like I never say coach. I always say just sign up for the discount. I cannot wait till they get this VIP customer thing where you don't actually have to sign them up and say coach. I think that's May.
I thought they were doing like a run here soon and then coming out with it.
Oh, you know what? I think they were.
Is it like this month?
Maybe it is later this month. They were going to do like a trial.
Yeah, I thought they were doing a trial.
That's going to be awesome, I think, because then it's literally like the word coach doesn't come out of your mouth accidentally. You can literally say VIP customer, and that's literally what they're going to see. And
yeah,
it's going to be great. So anyway, I'm not giving you guys that long. I'm only giving you 2 more weeks. So I'm not giving you until all that stuff comes out. So we're just going to have to do it the way we've always done it and sign people up as coaches. And like I said, I don't say coach. I just say sign up for the discount. And then my one girl just signed up as a coach, and she wrote me and she's like, oh my gosh, oh no, this says I'm a coach. Is that right? I think I messed something up. I'm like, so like she literally went all the way through the process and never saw the word coach and had no idea until it like sent her an email saying, congratulations, you're a coach. Because I literally don't talk about it. And so, yeah, that was a surprise. But I'm like, no, oh my gosh. And I always literally say, and you can do this too, whoever has a spouse or a parent or whatever signed up, I always say, don't worry about it. It's not a coach like I'm a coach. You don't have to run groups. It's not anything where you have to sell anything. My dad's a coach. And he is. My dad's been a coach since I started. He's been one of my discount coaches for 4 years. So if you can always say, don't worry about it. Bryce is a coach, and you know you've never seen him do anything with Beachbody. It's totally fine. He's just signed up for the discount or whatever. And then you just move on. So, okay. Any other things that you need, Tammy?
I don't think so.
Okay. You need to find one person in the next 2 weeks. We got to get this momentum going. And I swear to you, momentum's a real thing. So like once it gets rolling, and I know you're like planning a wedding, but like it has to happen. We just got to.
It's honestly not as stressful as what I always heard it to be.
I feel like you book everything, and once everything's booked, like you just sit around. Like you find all the things you want to do, and then you're like, okay, so we just wait. And obviously you do like, yeah, hair trials and all that kind of stuff, but like you already did that. And that's not stressful. That's fun. I feel like the end stuff where you like get your, where are you doing flowers? Lobshire?
Yeah. I'm basically gonna be doing my own arrangements. It's fine.
That's so great. What kind of flowers are you doing?
So we're doing bright and bold.
Mm.
We're doing like
So pretty.
the dresses are like a raspberry. So we're doing like raspberry, purples, oranges, greens, bold.
So
I'm not doing the typical spring baby blush